All right, all right. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope everyone is doing well out there today. It's been a very beautiful day out here in California. Blue skies, sunshine, a little windy, a little chilly earlier, but now it doesn't feel that bad, but it's nice. Nice weather. So we have a Steel 440 in the shop today, or on the bench. It's our buddy Alonzo's. He just dropped it off a little bit ago, and it's actually here for an inspection because well, it has stopped running good or at all. So we're gonna try to figure out what's going on with it. So it's been here before. The last time it was here was probably what? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a couple of weeks ago, just to get the chain sharpened, and we cleaned it up for him. You guys already know how we do the cleaning around here. Just gave it a little love. Not even any service, because it was perfect. It's brand new condition. But anyways, for those of you that have been around or follow along, I mean, you guys already know this chainsaw. It's no stranger here. We've also done his 194, did a timing advance, gave it a little love, chain sharpening, and a little cleaning. So, hey, we got Husky in the house asking if we watched the Super Bowl. I did not. No. We also got RPM Nitro in the house. Says, sup, bud? Sir, hang 10. I'm just kidding. Anyways, that was awkward. What's up, man? Good to see you. Husky says, I got the parts for the 450. It's about time, man. Hopefully you can get him in there as soon as possible and get that 450 up and running like it should be. So, but that's exciting though. That's exciting. So, as usual, I'm gonna wait just to see who all joins before I get started on this, again, 440 inspection. Super clean saw. So for those that aren't familiar with Alonzo's 440, beautiful saw. He picked it up for, I think he said, if I remember correctly, my brain these days, I believe he picked it up for $600. Basically, got a killer deal on it. Beautiful saw. He got it from an older gentleman, and older folks tend to keep their stuff nice and just good shape and take care of their stuff. Originally, the man wanted $900 for it, and they got to talking, and so my buddy Alonzo, he's a volunteer firefighter, so he'll help out with fires if needed, and he just, he's a volunteer, and so he mentioned that to the man, and the man so happened to be used to be a firefighter, and he got all excited, and he's like, you know what, for you, I'll give it to you for $600, and I guess he appreciated that Alonzo is a firefighter volunteer, and so we got it right here in front of us. Beautiful saw. I mean, it's still really clean because the last time it came just for chain sharpening, we got down and cleaned it up. Although it was really easy because Alonzo is also another person that really takes care of his stuff and tries to do his best to just, protect his stuff. I mean, it's all an investment. So, especially this 440. So, still really clean from the last time it was here. Obviously, he's used it a little bit. So, not super dirty. It's running Max Flow air filter, West Coast 3-point dogs, West Bark box, and that's pretty much it. And then it's the full wrap. So this would be the 440R in steel lingo terminology. So we're just going to go ahead and go through it. And then also to our buddy Manny, whose 440 we did, gave it a timing advance. We did the muffler modification on, a little service, a little love, dialed in the chain, sharpened it, cleaned cleaned up the bar, like inside the grooves, make sure everything was all good. But that's another saw that's super clean. So the 044 came before the 440. I'm sure some are probably gonna be like, well, for those that don't know, okay. But also he scored it from his buddy for $600. And it was his buddy's grandfather saw, and he had two of them. Manny believes that the one that he got for $600, super clean. You guys, some of you are already familiar with that 044, super clean and really good condition. So Manny believes that 044 was a backup saw, because he also had another saw, his friend's grandfather, and that one was kind of beat up a little bit more. So, and that thing came out sick, man. Not to sound full of myself, but that thing came out a lot better than I even expected. I mean, it was gonna come out good, but it came out really good. I mean, you guys, if you saw the video, I mean, that thing is ripping. Good carburetor tune. Opened up the muffler. It also got a West Coast spark box. It got the West Coast clutch cover, 3-point dogs. It got a timing advance. But that timing advance and those muffler modifications really brought it to life and just making it rip. And then, of course, tune the carburetor. So let's see. Sorry, I'm missing some comments here. Comentarios. Husky says, I got OEM parts too. Hell yeah, that's the way to go. RPM Nitro says, breaking up a little bit. Yeah, I have the shed door all the way open, so hopefully it's a little windy out here. So, and I just paid my phone bill, so it should be. I mean, it says I got 5G plus. I'm still using the primary phone because the Wi-Fi stuff is still having issues here, but hopefully it's not too bad. I always feel bad, you know, you guys are trying to watch and the quality is all janky. But yeah, I know the saw is super clean, so most of you guys already know about the saw, Alonzo's 440, but this time it's actually in because it's not doing too good. So we're gonna figure out what's going on, or at least just, you know, get to it. But hopefully it's nothing too, knock on wood, hopefully it's nothing too major, nothing too critical. But everything that he was telling me was just not stuff that I wanted to hear. But then again, who does? And we got Ground Pounder in the house. Sup, boo? Sup, homie? No, I'm just kidding. Ground Pounder says, audio is breaking up bad, brah. Man, I don't know what's going on. We're not on Wi-Fi either, because, like I said, the Wi-Fi here is just, we're having issues here. So hopefully it's not, hopefully it gets a little better, but I apologize for all that. I know that is probably kind of annoying. I'd be annoyed too. Ground Pounder says it's a bit better now. All right, hopefully it keeps getting better, guys. And let me know, because if it's super bad, just be like, dude, like, this is trash. You're trash. Everything's trash. I'm just kidding. But Ground Dude, hopefully you're doing well out there. Those meals you be cooking up over there, man. Facts. Martha Stewart ain't got shit on the old ground over there, or on Miss Ground Pounder either. Shit. Folks be cooking up some meals, man. I'm telling you. Oof. Especially those, what were they? Walleye chips? Walleye, right? Ugh. I've never even had walleye, but I'll eat those. I'll definitely smack those. And they're fried. Come on now. The breading looks so good. What was it, like panko? Ooh, with a little tartar sauce. Okay. You guys already know Big Boy is going to be hungry here. Well, it's too late. Husky says, and guess what? I got to piss. What? Oh, piston and cylinder for OEM 2. And my Husqvarna new helmet's coming tomorrow. Hell yeah, man. Everything's all coming together. I love it. I love it. It's always great when things come together. Okay, let's just go ahead and get started on this, because I still have a lot of daylight here, and also too, so what I was getting at with Manny's 044, he actually also came by as well, and dropped off his 026, which you guys may or may not have seen the video, but we have a video of it ripping through some pine. Super clean 026, man. Clean. Red lever. Some people might not care about the whole red lever thing. Um, I I'm not like, oh my god, red lever, but I mean, from what's been said and what's kind of out there, the red levers are kind of special. So it's a red lever 026, and it's in here for timing advance, and he just wants to get that thing ripping like the 044. It's also going to get an Egan muffler, which that's going to be getting shipped to Manny directly, but it's been delayed. So hopefully it'll show up today, so that way when he comes and picks up the saw tomorrow, I could throw it on there for him and we can go rip it up and hear it. Because I've never used or heard anything from Egan personally, like here. And but his stuff, man, Egan stuff is top notch. Obviously we like the West Coast stuff here a lot, you know, but I think when we're talking performance, in my personal opinion, I think Egan still has the slight upper hand on actual performance. Not to say, that's not saying that Gordy's bark boxes don't perform. They perform. It's just, I think Egan's are still just a little better performance-wise, which is kind of the whole point, right? But Gordy's, though, those bark boxes, man, they're pretty. Beautiful welds, everything. Egan's are nice too, but I think if we're talking just visuals, you know, cosmetically and whatever, I mean, obviously bark boxes, I mean, for me, those are like great looking mufflers, beautiful welds and whatnot. But again, when we're talking performance, I think Egan still has that upper hand. So anyways, and actually, you know what, before we get started on this inspection, let me show you guys that red lever real quick. Beautiful. Oh shit. Beautiful saw. Let me get this 044 out of the way. Or excuse me, 440 out the way. But look at this thing. Also, so far, all we've done so far, I did this for him when he came and picked up his 044. I put the 044 dogs on the 026. It looks sick. But this is red lever. There it is. 026. Everything original except for the dogs now. Plastics are amazing. I mean, it's brand new. Clean. Clean. So, so this is, like I said, this is going to get the timing advance. It is going to get a muffler modification or you know, modded muffler. But we'll see when that comes in. So, and then also too, the other thing that we're going to do for him is it's running the 325 pitch, just like 261s. They run the 325, but he wants to run a beefier chain, so he wants to convert it to 3/8, which we already have the rim sprocket. It's a matter of just taking off the clip, the washer, and popping that rim sprocket on. It's a 7-tooth, and then it's going to run a 20-inch bar and the chain. So anyhow, and I've never worked on an 026 before, so this is actually a real treat. It came in the other day. Let me just see this real quick, because it says, whoa. So it's like the 036, but this is what I was kind of tripping on, because it kind of like slides it up. That's sick, man. Filter's a little dirty. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. And the same thing, we're just gonna give it a little cleaning, but it ain't gonna be much other than just a hit with the air compressor and a wipe down with our good old favorite crocodile cloth, because this thing is freaking pristine, man. This thing is, if I can even figure out how to put this thing back on. Let me see here. I'm guessing. Oh boy. Like I said, I've never messed with one of these, so I'm kind of... It's pretty much like the 046, or excuse me, 036, but This one's a little different. All right, let's struggle here for a second. It's kind of, oh, okay. No, that does not feel right. Hold on a second. Okay, well, I didn't realize this was going to be how we were going to start this live stream. We're learning something here. We're going to learn. You going to learn today, boy. Okie dokie. Interesting. We're really struggling right now. But also, too, I'm just trying to be careful. I don't want to damage anything, of course. Shit. Okay, so I'm guessing it has to, well, let's see. Interesting. Sheesh. Jim Britt says, take a breath. Take a breath. Sir, I'm breathing. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee you that. Jim Britt says, take a chill, man. Take a chill. I ain't even mad, bruh. I don't want to damage this man's beautiful 026. Okay, we spun the dial a little bit. And it can't go in all the way because it kind of has like a little gap. Dominic Austin says, this is awesome. This is awesome to stumble upon. You have experience or certified steel. So I'm not certified. I do have some experience. I'm going on like what, about 2 years, self-taught essentially. I used to work at a steel dealer. I was a sales, just a front counter sales. And then I don't know, I started messing with equipment. It basically was a matter of just like, so there they didn't do just saws. They did line trimmers, hedge trimmers, blowers, generators, lawnmowers, literally everything, anything small engine. And the way that I actually started tinkering with equipment was customers would started coming in all pissed off because, you know, their equipment had been there for sometimes upwards of a month or longer, or, you know, just like poor communication. They didn't know, like, you know, the mechanics just were, I don't know, whatever. And so I feel like I'm a team player, man. I like to help out wherever I can. So I basically just said, you know what, let me see what I could figure out. Let me see what I can do for you and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've always tinkered with stuff like this. Really, the first time I ever started working with small engines, tiny engines, was Nitro RC cars. So working with small components and parts. So, and I've always just like messing with stuff. And then the chainsaw bug really hit, and I love these things, man. So I just, yeah, pretty much self-taught. A lot of YouTube University, asking questions, And yeah, now we're here, and then just basically repetitive. So, but no, not certified though. Quentin Davis says those air filter covers are a pain in the ass. Yeah, kind of finding that out here. They're kind of like the 036. And worst case worst, guys, honestly, we'll probably come back to this because this wasn't part of the live stream here. And I just don't want to break anything, obviously. And I'm so pissed. Yeah, let's just come back to this. Let's go ahead and do what we're gonna do. Inspect Alonso's 440 to see why it has stopped running good. Hopefully it's nothing major. That shouldn't, I mean, it's not going to take too long. We're basically just going to look inside the piston, make sure, or inside the piston, wow. Inside the cylinder, check the piston. It has compression. I already tested it. It has plenty of compression, but just because you have compression doesn't mean that the condition of your cylinder sleeve and piston are good. That just means that you have compression or some compression. So let's go ahead and put this down for now, but I promise we will come back and figure this out. Hold on a second. So I feel like oh, maybe. Oh, okay. Just had to just take, okay, let's see. So there's these little grooves right here. So this one has to go, I figured it out. So it has to pretty much, it's kind of shitty, but so it has to go in through here. And I was trying to put it on somewhere over here, but it has to go right in through here essentially. So let's see if we've learned something here. Oh, all right. But now this little thing. There we go. Now the little knob here is, let's figure this out. Oh, okay. But the knob is kind of crooked now, so I see you guys commenting. I promise I'm not ignoring you. So now we got to figure out this little knobby here. Okay. So it's kind of at an angle. Let's Sorry, I'm missing some comments here. Dominique is asking what's wrong with it. So this 026 is fine. So the only reason I was just showing you guys, because it just came in, it's Manny's 026. It's a red lever. He just brought us his 044 that he picked up a couple days ago. We did a timing advance, a couple of muffler modifications. So I opened up the actual muffler itself, and then we replaced the original exhaust casing with a bark box, West Coast bark box, and he loved how it turned out. I loved how it turned out too. I almost kind of wanted to buy it from him now, but it turned out great. There's a video of it on our channel here, and so he wants to just do the same thing with this. It is going to get an Egan muffler and then a timing advance. I was just kind of trying to show you guys what, you know, how beautiful the saw is. And then Alonzo dropped off his 440, which we're going to work on right now. That stopped working. So we're just going to do an inspection, a walkthrough, and see what's going on. Husky, that's awesome. He says he's got a helmet coming and a cylinder OEM for 44 bucks. No scored. Not scored. Dang, 40 bucks. Dominique says, sorry, man, I loved working on small engines and all the steel equipment. It's fun, man. You know, we love chainsaws, so that's all I like to work on. Although occasionally I do get the line trimmer, or no, not line trimmer, backpack blower, like the 800s, like the BR 800s, just for a little tune-up service and cleaning and whatnot. Hedge trimmers for sharpening, which my sharpening process is, well, I remove the blades because that's how I feel, you know, you can do it, you know, you do it properly, just remove the blades. But then also too, I like to open up the gearbox, take out all the components, and then clean out all the old grease, and then packing it with new grease, and then inspect everything to make sure that nothing is damaged. And, you know, some of those connecting rods, they have little needle bearings, but they're not encased, so sometimes they just kind of go flying everywhere. Or they're encased, but they're not like an actual needle bearing. I don't know, like a cage. It's just kind of, anyways. So let's just interesting. Okay, we're gonna leave it. We're going to leave it. Let's go ahead and do that 440 inspection before I really fuck up some shit. Alrighty. That was fun, huh? So, hey, at least we figured out part of it. Dominic says it'll feel like it wants to break, but it won't. It'll make a little pop when it locks in. I'm going to try it. We'll try it after we do the inspection, because I'm sure some of you guys are wanting to see an inspection go down, and we'll go back to that 026 here in a minute. Righty tighty. Yeah, so righty tighty and then lefty loosey, and pretty sure. Yeah, we'll come back to it though. We'll come back. We're not going to give up. AI is dangerous, says, what state are you in? So I'm in California, here in Sonoma County. Let's see, we got Bobber Curva. Hopefully I said that right. That's an interesting one. Says, hi bro, how's it going? The 14th of February, my plan is to eat an entire rotisserie chicken and cry alone while I play GTA Online. Life is good, man. Hey, you know what? I think that sounds like a good day, because you know what? I'm a huge GTA fan myself. I haven't played. I'm still waiting for GTA 6 to come out, and I will be playing GTA 6 when it comes out. I have to buy myself a console or something because I don't have anything to game on. But yeah, that's, hey man, as long as we're alive on February 14th, some might call it Valentine's Day, some might call it it's just another day. But you know what, man? As long as we're doing good, that's all that matters. And thing is, even though we may say we're alone, but there's people out there that love us, man, that care about us. So that's all that matters too. I mean, I know it's tricky. You know, everybody has different family situations and whatnot, but you know, as long as we love ourselves, you know. It sounds really like self. Anyways, moving on. Just trying to be all positive and shit. Husky says, spell no luck on the other one, though. Oh, okay. Okie. Merrill Russell says, doesn't look like it's down all the way. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Let's go ahead and get this inspection going. It's nothing major. Basically, you just want to see what the cylinder sleeve looks like and the piston. And it has compression, but again, that doesn't mean that everything is good inside. It just means that you have some compression. But yeah, Merrill, we'll check it out in a little bit. Nitrogen is asking us a question, but I don't know what that translates to. But either way, Nitro, thank you for being here. Happy Monday. Dominique Austin says, out of being nice, if you get confused on anything or need help, feel free to message me. We'll likely be able to help you, although there is YouTube itself. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate that. See, that's positivity right there. That's always good when people are looking out, and, you know, that's what it should be about. We got P-Main, honor of King, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why I said blah, blah. That was rude. Says, what's up, brother? Hello, hello. Happy Monday. Bobber Curva says, thanks, bro. Love your words. Appreciate you, man. Hey, we're all human, man. Got to look out. We should at least, you know, try to treat everybody with kindness. You know, I really do my best to apply Buck and Billy's, you know, work hard, be kind, be honest. And it seems like simple stuff. I feel like sometimes people are like, well, obviously it's, well, duh. But it's not always that easy, man. It's really not, you know. None of it is. Working hard, being kind, being honest. I mean, it's tricky stuff sometimes, you know, it really is. But all we can do is do our best. And also, too, because you never really know, well, you never do know unless you're told, but you never know what other people are going through. You know, it's especially social media here, doing live streams. I mean, there's so many people that watches us and that are watching, and, you know, you got to be careful, you know, what you say sometimes, because there might be someone sitting there, you know, maybe looking for some sort of direction or guidance, or just maybe they're in a tricky place or something, and you say something maybe out of joking, and then, you know, sometimes people take things very seriously. And so that's why since day one of doing our live streams, I've always done my best to just, you know, keep it real with you guys. You know, you guys kind of get what you get. I don't change my mood or my attitude based off of just being in front of a camera. I mean, that's just, you know, but also too, you just got to be careful, you know, especially when talking about chainsaws and things that are dangerous and blah, 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 and like joking. And I feel like most of you know kind of my sense of humor and blah, 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 but I don't know, someone may not. And if I sit here and say, oh, I don't know, say something, right? You just got to be careful. And we got Hamid in the house. My friend, welcome back. Good to see you. It's been a minute. I know you pop in from time to time. I know we all have lives. Husky says, I still have no luck on the other side, though. It will pop off, run for 3 seconds, and idle. And then it pops off and pops off. And it sounds like maybe you have a fuel delivery issue or a pinch line or some, I don't know, something. Dominique says, we'll be watching more, but for now, have a great afternoon. Dominique, appreciate you for being here for a little bit, man. You're always welcomed. Everyone is always welcomed here. Or yeah, check your fuel lines, make sure everything is good. Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, probably some sort of fuel delivery issue. Assuming that crank seals are all good, or oil seals are all good and whatnot. So anyways, RPM Nitro says, I'd like to get into a wood cutting service on the side. I think you'd be good, man. I think, you know, that's kind of like my goal. But right now I've been staying kind of busy I mean, thankfully I'm blessed and I stay busy with saws and whatnot. All right, let's go ahead and get this going, because 35 minutes, and I appreciate everybody being here and commenting, because you know that makes it really exciting and more lively. But let's go ahead and get this inspection going, because it's really not going to take much time. Just literally going to look inside the piston cylinder. I already know it has compression. Also going to check to see if maybe it's just flooded, but I don't know. Doesn't. Ooh. Well, that's probably should want, you know, probably might want to clean the air filter, because it's getting pretty caked up. A lot of fine dust. So that just to me tells me that at some point, you know, they were running a dull chain. So yeah, definitely gonna clean that up for him at least. Let's go ahead and get the rewind starter pulled off, and we got M&G in the house. Hello. We also got T-Voice Surprise says hello from Russian Federation. Hell yeah, man. Much love to you guys. What up? So let's go ahead and get this going. Really like these magnetic trays. Ugh. But yeah, this saw is already really clean, because we gave it the full preferred SawWorks cleaning like we always do, and it's, I mean, obviously it's dirty again, but it's nothing major. It's gonna clean up really nice again. Let's see. Bum 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 bum. Sometimes I have an interesting time with these spark plug boots. It's good that it's snug. Let me see. Okie dokie. That's out of the way. Let's get that. But yeah, man, I've been enjoying my time, you know, especially now doing my own thing here. If all goes well, not all goes well, we're still going to be here as long as we don't not wake up. It'll be a year in July that I've been doing my own thing. Basically since I got fired from that power equipment shop. Because they some haters. They thought I was joking when I was like, you know what, I think maybe I'm going to start doing this on the side for myself. And then I did. And we doing it. Spark plug looks a little dirty and a little, but like I always say, I mean, unless the spark plug's super fouled out or damage of some sort, it's never the spark plug. Spark plugs are very resilient. So let's get that shroud out of here. Dominique says there's many different carbs and off brands and small, few very good to use, and if you have to make sure you get the right carburetor for the right model and brand. Yeah, so the carburetor, I don't know right now. It's all original, nothing's been swapped out. It's all OEM, and he's never swapped out the carburetor or nothing, so it's all original. Get that rewind out of here. I mean, he did put it through some wood after he left, but it's still freaking clean, man. That's what happens when you got someone that cleans up your saws really nice. Like literally, I had someone reach out to me on Instagram and they're like, how do you clean the saws so good? Do you use a power washer? Hell no. I would never be caught dead using a power washer to clean saws. If anything, an ultrasonic cleaner, which I do want to invest in, just because during the wintertime I still had saws trickling in. But when I get really busy, like it's been picking up again already, and we're not even in spring yet, but man, it's been good so far. I mean, it's all on me to be proactive and stay on top of everything and whatever, and it's manageable. But I mean, saws take time to clean. So I was thinking about getting a ultrasonic cleaner, and just to save a little bit of time on the cleaning. But I don't know, that to me just seems too easy. So Michael Rowe says, I have an Echo CS330, and the other day I noticed my bar oil didn't seem to be coming out. It's new and has clean oil. Chain was dry. I don't know if those have... Ooh. I don't know if those have an adjustment for the oiler, for the oil pump, but you could always try opening it up all the way just to see if that helps anything, or maybe your worm gear has gone out, or clean it. That's the biggest thing, you know, you want to clean. So usually, you know, there's like, it's just a little slit, and if that gets caked up with sawdust and just whatever, oil is not gonna be able to travel. And then make sure to clean out your bar too. You know, always clean out your bar anytime you take the chain off. You could run just a small flathead through the grooves, but anytime you do that, you don't want to push anything towards the sprocket. You want to push it away, so, you know, front to back essentially. So because if you do, I mean, it's going to push everything out of the grooves, but it's going to push it all into your sprocket and whatnot. So yeah, just make sure or you can use something like this. It's an Oregon tool. So like this end here, it tells you your gauge, it tells you the gauge of your drive links, file size, your pitch, or just a flathead will work fine. So okay, so right off the bat, I'm noticing there's a lot of there's quite a bit of fuel that's chilling here where the spark plug goes here. So Michael, you bet, man. Anytime. So yeah, I mean, it like I said, if your bar is cleaned out, if your adjustment is, you know, if your oil pump's opened up all the way, the inside of your clutch cover is all cleaned out, and you're still not getting any oil, maybe try, well, I mean, it's kind of hard to, at least for me, it's kind of hard to know if the worm gear is damaged, other than it's just not oiling. Make sure your lines are all good, and just maybe start there and go from there. But anytime, dude. Appreciate you. So right now I'm just looking into the cylinder. So basically right now I'm looking at the front, so the muffler side. It looks clean. Nothing that stands out. I mean, there's some faint little like striations that are happening, if that's even the word, but nothing that I think would cause you know, the issues. Can't even talk right now. So everything is fine there. But now we're going to check, and we're going to pop the muffler off and look at the front of the piston. So again, that's going to be essentially the muffler side, the exhaust side, and then look at the back, which is going to be the intake side of things. Let me see. It does smell like fuel. So let me go and see if maybe it's... I don't think flooding is going to cause... So something about it was like making a high whine noise, and it made like a high-pitched noise, a whine noise, and then it just shut off. So, but I don't think that's going to be you know, caused by flooding. So we'll see. Husky says no. You should get one of those little cameras you put down the spark plug. I mean, those are cool and all, but honestly, it's not really necessary. At least not for anything that I do here. I mean, I don't know. It's not a huge thing. I mean, it'd be kind of nice, but it's just, for me, I think they're kind of pointless. Unless it's a really hard cylinder to look into, but a lot of the times, like, the top handles are kind of difficult, but at that point, it's like, you know, if I really can't tell or whatever, I can just pop off the cylinder head and go from there. I mean, because tearing into these saws now, it's like, I'm not going to say it's like I can do it blindfolded and in my sleep, but you do it enough times. Plus, for me, it's just more, I don't know, keeps you sharp, man. Practice. So let me just see if this thing is flooded. Oh, because there is some fuel chilling at the top of the spark plug hole, or whatever you want to call it. Let me just see if maybe there's some, maybe it's just kind of flooded, but because that's what he wanted me to check, was to see if it was flooded. And we'll check the crank. We'll at least check the bearings. I need to buy a new pressure and vacuum tester, because my steel one that I bought in like brand new condition, it was used, but it was brand new, like spotless. It has taken a crap on me, so I can't test oil seals right now. The only way that I can test it is by running it and holding it on its side for a minute or whatever, and vice versa on the other side. So I might have to just get the Mighty Vac one for now. It's like 120 bucks, but I like the steel one. That's what I like. Well, I should probably put the rewind starter on just to do this little test. Ron Brooks says, what make is it? MS271? No, sir. This is a Stihl 440. A badass chainsaw. Let me just go ahead and put this back on real quick. Do a little crank test. He's gonna do a crank test. What? I'm not gonna worry about putting on Loctite right now. I'm going to take it back off anyways. But Loctite is always very important, especially anytime going into metal. There's a lot of vibration that happens. And I use the red. I just skip the whole blue stuff. And always got to be careful with power tools, man. It doesn't take much to strip something out. So right now I'm using my Stihl T27. Or you can use the one on your scrunch, or really any T27, but like I've always said, the reason why I bought this was to actually get into the cylinder, to get to the mounting screws. RPM Nitro says, I think Neotech makes a 660. They probably do. Or like Holzforma or the Farmer Tech. I guess I could just do this in here so I could show you guys. So if you guys ever need to unflood your chainsaw, or you think maybe your saw is flooded, all you gotta do is remove your spark plug and then hold it upside down. And then while you're holding it upside down, just go ahead and pull on your rewind starter. Definitely flooded. You guys see all the fuel, and as you can see, it seems like the rewind spring has taken a dump. Very flooded. Man, this thing is flooded. And this rewind starter, the rewind spring is shot. So that could also be the high-pitched noise that he was hearing. Sometimes you'll hear a squeaking noise, and so sometimes the squeakiness will be the rewind spring. They just get dirty. They start getting rusty and whatnot. So sometimes a little hit with WD-40, assuming that the rewind spring isn't, you know, at this point, I think what happened is, so what happens is, so one good way to bust the rewind spring is when you're cranking on, whether it be a weed eater, hedge trimmer, anything, and you just let the cord go back, just like let it slam back into place. What's going to happen is that rewind spring is basically going to unravel inside, and it's going to cause this issue right here, because this is a brand new saw, essentially, and so that's probably what happened. So, I mean, basically, right now that it's all screwed up, I'll show you guys. So basically, if you're starting up a saw or whatever, and you just let it go, that's what's going to happen. You're going to damage that rewind spring. But very flooded. Very, very flooded. I mean, there's like a pool of fuel just sitting here at the top of the spark plug. I'm going to keep pulling it, but I'm going to go outside now because I don't want the shop smelling like fuel. I mean, we like the smell of gas, but it just gets like to be too much sometimes. I start getting a headache. So let me go out to the side yard real quick and do all that. Everybody probably thinks that I'm trying to crank this thing up right now, but I'm not. So, okay. 1 second here. Let me see what else. Michael Rose says, I've had problems with excess oil in my exhaust and have been using 2.6 per gallon. Yep, that sounds right. It's making an absolute sticky mess. And yeah, the air filter definitely was not the cleanest. Definitely needs to be cleaned. And what's more is that it's just fine wood dust. So implying that the chain was getting dull. And then also too, one thing that I'm noticing is that, so these air filters, Max Flows, the Uni filters, the West Coast filters, Egan's filters, if he has, I think he has some. Either way, you want to run these well lubricated with air filter oil, because if not, things are going to just start getting into your cylinder sleeve, and it's like as if you're running no air filter. So definitely needs to be lubricated. But this thing definitely was flooded, and the rewind spring is definitely shot. So because it's just not good. Definitely want to get that replaced. And so that'll happen, you know. Sometimes if the rewind spring is good, you'll hear a little squeaking noise. You can just hit it with some WD-40. I've had to do that a couple times already this week for a couple of saws, which I have a video of that, which I just need to post it, which I will do that today. But you hear that like squeakiness. So that could just be from being dirty, starting to rust, just needs to be lubricated, combination of things. So let me just keep unflooding this real quick and I'll be right back. Super flooded, man. Super flooded. At least he's running the good fuel, though. We like the VP ethanol free. That's what I run in my personal saws. mixed to 50-to-1 or to a 50-to-1 using AMSOIL's Saber, which is a full synthetic. Good stuff. At least I like it, in my opinion. I like it. Before we check the, wow. Oh yeah, this thing's shot, as we all pretty much saw. But at least that's the one way that I know that this can happen to a rewind spring, is if you just let it go. I don't know what else can cause that to happen, but so to get rid of that squeakiness, assuming that your rewind spring is good, what I do is I just give it a little spray a little WD-40 right on top of that T27 that holds everything together. So the pawls, the little clip, sometimes they refer to that as a spring, and then the rope rotor, and then right down here is where the rewind spring sits. Sometimes you can spray a little WD around there, but really here at the top will be fine. But if you do want to hit the bottom here, and you guys will see the video later, what I try to do is I try to kind of find a spot where I can get the WD in there. But either way, just spray some. But what I like to do is pull out the cord all the way, and then with one hand hold it, and as I'm spraying it, giving it little sprays, I'm letting the rewind go back into place, so that way it kind of gets, try to get the whole spring. But yeah, this thing is way shot out. So anyways, so that's going to be a thing that needs to get fixed. Mike Rose says that was the Weed Eater with a new filter. Shit. David D says you should start a ASMR channel. Make that YouTube money. ASMR? What is that? I don't even know what that is. And although it's not, we're not here for the money. We're just here to just hang out with you guys and share what we're doing here. But I'm excited because we're halfway, so we're on the last step to be able to be eligible to apply for the YouTube partnership program. So the first part is you got to have at least either 1,000 subscribers, or I believe it was, what, I forget how many watch hours, but I mean, we hit the 1,000 subscribers a long time ago, and that's all thanks to you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. I think right now we're sitting at like 24 something. And then the second part of being eligible to apply to the partnership program is you either got to have, I forget how many 10 million short views on your shorts and videos, or 3,000 public watch hours or something like that. So right now I think I'm at just a little over 1,600 hours. So so that's all thanks to you guys, everybody that's watching. And we hit 1.1 public views, I mean, right before the new year, or 1 million, and now we're at 1.1. And our channel views, like, just, I don't know what that actually means, but I'm guessing that's just how many times people come to our channel and check it out. We're at like almost 800,000. So that's all thanks to you guys, man, and that's freaking incredible. But anyways, like a hot dog in a hallway, exactly. Fudge. Husky says, guess who just texted me? Ghostbusters? I don't know. Michael Rose says, my first job was a small engine shop at 13 for $5 an hour, disassembling old equipment and putting the parts into separate bins after school. I absolutely loved it, even though it was tedious. See, man, and that sounds like fun. But yeah, tedious for sure. But, you know, the whole thing is that you love what you do. And that's why I'm here. You know, that's why I'm here, because I love what I do. And yeah, sometimes, you know, I get frustrated, man. I get pissed, especially when I can't figure something out that I've done numerous times, and it's always different. You know, sometimes I get asked, you know, do you still find any enjoyment or like a challenge, or doesn't it get boring working on the same old saws, as far as like same models and same blah blah blah, and just working on the same stuff? And absolutely not, because every day is a challenge. Because sometimes repairs go easy, and sometimes for some reason, whether it's maybe the focus, the mindset, stuff that's going on in the background in life, you know, affect the repair. And sometimes it's not that easy, or sometimes, I don't know, just things happen and it's just like, what the hell is going on? Like, I've done this, let's just say 5 times already, or 10 times, or 1,000 times, or however many times, and it's always different. So I still get a kick out of it. And especially when, you know, we get positive feedback, you know, especially now we have you guys, our YouTube family, you know, my YouTube family, and it's just awesome, man. It's just awesome. It's been a great experience. Okay. So let's go ahead and, just for funsies, we're still gonna, even though we know that the cylinder is good, but that's just on the, what I consider the front side, so the exhaust side. Let's go ahead and check the back, which would be what I consider, call the intake. And either way, it's always good to be thorough. I feel a little off today because I did a live stream, we did a live stream not that long ago, but oh, it's still very flooded. Shit. I do my best not to cuss on our, oh. So looking back into the cylinder, so that's what I consider the intake side. It looks good. The same as the front, maybe some faint little striations, like faint, like, you know, just very faint. Nothing that's going to affect compression. But I can definitely see some striations starting to happen. So essentially starting to score. That's all it really means. Definitely a lot of fuel in there. It's still really flooded. But the thing that I'm looking at right now, and it's not good, it's also something that I did not want to see, is at the very top of the piston head, or the piston, whatever you want to call it. It is, it's scored up. But it's funny because looking at it from the front, unless my eyes were playing tricks on me, which it happens. So the top of the port looks good. So yeah, I guess like right above the port though, the exhaust port, I guess I do see there are a little darker striations. Doesn't look like gouging yet. I mean, yeah, but the top of that piston, though, I'll try to show you guys right now, but it's not pretty. Like, for sure, it's starting to, it's like scraping. I mean, it's just, so there's kind of two levels of scoring. So the first is what they call, piston transfer. It's just from the piston coming in contact with the sleeve, and so it starts to kind of, it's causing like rubbing on the cylinder sleeve, and then it turns into gouging. So gouging is really just a deep groove or indentation, and the gouges, that's what's really going to mess up and affect your compression, and that's pretty much worst case scenario. Piston transfer can be cleaned up. That's what I do sometimes with cylinders if it's just some light markings, and I kind of do like what I call a restoration process and just clean them up. Same thing with pistons. I always throw on new rings unless the rings are fine, and that works good. You got to be very careful though when you do that kind of stuff, because you don't want to go through the plating and then run the risk of changing the bore but it's, if you're being careful, I mean, it's fine, but you gotta, you still got to be careful. But it gets to the point where even sometimes gouges, you can clean them up, but it's to a point where it's not worth it. But in this case, this is not good. Definitely not good. And I don't remember it being like this, because even though his saw came in the last time, the first time it was here, even though it was just here for a chain sharpening, and I was going to clean it up for him, I still did an inspection just to see what things were looking like. And I definitely don't remember the piston being like that, because I definitely would have brought that up to his attention. But this, here, I'll show you guys. Michael Rose says, where do you reside? So I'm here in California, in Sonoma County. Wild Bill says, still is known to flood easily. So, I mean, there are some saws, yeah, that flood easy. Like those 250s, man, they're no joke. I know it's not a pro saw, but they're a decent little saw. But yeah, they might flood easy. I don't know. Not that it hasn't, I mean, it just hasn't happened yet, but I personally haven't had any issues like that. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying everybody has a different experience. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Hopefully you guys can kind of get an idea. And I know a lot of you are like, you guys are gonna be like, oh, that doesn't look very good, because it's not. But this thing is still really flooded, very flooded. I mean, there's still a lot of fuel, and let me show you guys. Yeah, this is not going to work too well. Let me see. So let me see if I can. Look at that. You guys see the bubbles? There's still a lot of fuel in there. A lot of fuel in there. Okay, you see that? Look at that. I can't really zoom you guys in more, but that right there is not good, because it probably could be prevented further, but at this point I feel like it's just going to get worse. And I'm surprised that the cylinder sleeve, because that is actually gouging. I mean, it's like scraped. It's scored, obviously. I mean, how else do I explain it? It's scored to the point where it's not just piston transfer. It's actually like indenting and grooving. If I'm even, I feel like I'm not good with my words tonight, but you guys get what I'm saying. But that is not good. Let me see. Low light. There we go. You can tell that that's definitely digging into the piston right there. And like I said, I'm surprised that the cylinder sleeve doesn't have any gouging, but that for sure is not good. And I also feel like this fuel that's in here, I don't feel like that even has, I mean, it almost has, to me, it almost has like straight gas vibes. I know it's not straight gas, but maybe the mix was not. And Alonzo, if you're watching, man, I know you know what you're doing. I don't want you to think that I'm talking trash, because Alonzo does watch our live streams. He's, you know, he really loves our work here, and but I just feel like that has little to like no oil. It's just, I feel like that's just a lot of gas and very little oil. Shit. I mean, obviously it has oil, but I just, maybe not enough. Maybe, I mean, things happen. I mean, come on. You're in a rush. You're trying to get things done. You're in the moment. Maybe you miscalculate. But I also want to give Alonzo credit, because he runs, I think he has like a 1 gallon or 5 gallon or both, and he buys the bottles, you know, that's according to the size gallon that he's using. So I don't know. It's hard to tell there what happened, because I don't think it's any debris or dirt or anything, because I mean the saw is freaking clean. It was already clean since the first time it was here, and then I just cleaned it up. And so I don't know if someone else ran his saw, or maybe he was, again, Alonzo, if you're watching, I'm just saying, this is just my 2 cents. Maybe they were just in a hurry. He was just in a hurry, and he maybe undermixed a little bit. He does run full synthetic. I know he was running the VP full synthetic, and I've been wanting him to try the AMSOIL Sabre, because I mean, I really like it. Everybody has different experiences, but that to me just looks like very low oil, like, and how that happened, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't think it was debris or dirt or anything. I think it was just maybe poor lubrication, and you know, the piston really just started rubbing on the sleeve. And you know, from what I can see inside here, it doesn't look gouged or anything, but I'm kind of curious to see what the top of the piston, or excuse me, the top of the cylinder looks like. So at this point, I kind of want to remove the cylinder head and just really look inside of it and see, because for there to be that much scoring on the piston, the cylinder sleeve has to. So you know what, let's go ahead and remove the cylinder head, because that's really the only way to know. Because even using one of those little cameras that Husky was talking about, I mean, that's still not gonna, that's just gonna show you if there is damage, but you're not gonna be able to run your finger through or nothing. So let's go ahead and remove the muffler. So basically 2 things that are important at this point: rewind spring, it needs to be replaced, and that piston, need to figure out something. So as you guys can see, it's still really clean. That's just like the post running after we cleaned it. It was already clean when it first came in. It was really clean, but then we just, you guys already know, we made it really clean. Let's go ahead and get this air filter base out of here. Steel nearly tree cutting. Run the steel mix, never had a problem. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. It's good stuff. I mean, not knocking on steel, but at the same time, I don't know. Me personally, I like the AMSOIL. That's just what I like. And I would like to think that VP is some good stuff too, because that's what they specialize in, is fuel and oils, and same thing with AMSOIL. But again, you know, I know Steel does know what they're doing. I mean, you guys already know I'm a disgusting Steel fanboy, but there's certain things that I'm just kind of like, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna take off the cylinder head just to really see at the top, because that's what I'm really curious about. So to remove the carburetor, you're gonna get rid of this linkage, which you have to go into the molding, which this one has a T27, which is really nice. Some saws either have like little tabs that you have to kind of spread out or decompress. I don't know what you want to call it. Let's go ahead and use, it's not a T27. It's a little, I think it's a T25. I'm not sure. Or you can use a flathead. But I like the ones that have screws because then that way you don't have to pry off the molding. And this still does have, oh, this doesn't have fuel in it, but let me get rid of any pressure in here, if any. Either way, we're gonna wear some safety spectacles. That's what I always like to do because you never know, man. I've had times where, and thankfully I was wearing safety goggles or glasses because I've had fuel trapped in the line still, and I went to go remove a carburetor and it just, okie dokie. There goes the lockout lever, no big deal. Okay, so you're gonna get rid of that linkage. And then get rid of this little rubber grommet. I don't know. Boom. And then now we should be able to pull the carburetor right off. So for those that were asking what, and that's kind of what I was going to guess, a Walbro, but you know what they say about assuming, but usually it's a Walbro. This one is the HD17A 414. That's all it says. But usually, like, yeah, the 461s or the 046s, they have Walbros. Walbro. Okay. So from here, get rid of this little, use your trusty pick tool. I really like pick tools around here, man. The little intake ring or gasket, or I don't know what you want to call that. This little thing. And then now we can go ahead and undo the 4 mounting screws. All right. I was going to start doing Manny's 026 and do the flywheel advance, but honestly, man, I think this is going to be the last one for today, and we'll just get an early start tomorrow. Even, you know, assuming that nothing goes wrong, it's going to be a quick thing. So it's already 6 o'clock my time, and lately, I mean, the work has been good, but I've been staying out here kind of late out in the shop. Sometimes, I mean, the other night it was 10 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and I usually try to, because I already went through a time where I kind of burnt myself out because I was out here from basically 8 to 8 or 9, and it was kind of my fault for not taking breaks. But so I always try to cut it off at, like, you know, start early and cut it off at like 6 o'clock. Or unless someone's going to bring by a saw. I mean, my drop-off cutoff time is 7 o'clock usually. Or 7:30, depending, because I know not everybody gets out of work early. And okay. Push the little intake in and through. All right, here she comes. And we got Budsville, USA in the house, my friend. Glad you can join us for just a little bit. It's always a pleasure to have you. Well, I don't like that right off the bat, because usually they come right off, and this one's hanging up on the piston ring, and I do not like that. I did not like that one bit. Oops. So I'm not going to put these into the magnetic tray, because I'm going to mark them with a paint pen just to identify that these are the mounting screws. I really like to keep those together and make sure that they go into the right spot. So this just smells like a lot of fuel. Like, it just, I mean, obviously it was very flooded, but there's no lubrication. It's like straight fuel almost, because there's no, and there's just fuel, man, just dumping in here. I mean, it smells okay. It smells better because it's ethanol free, but you know what? Let me get a real sense of this, of what, how much oil with, because these gloves ain't going to tell me nothing. All right, Husky, thank you for being here, man. We'll see you on the next one for show. Nothing. And you guys saw how much fuel was in there. So there's, if there was the proper amount of oil mixed in, we would have, this is nothing. Straight fuel. No stickiness, no nothing. What the hell is going on, man? Surprisingly, though, considering, oh yeah, that's rough. And that's not transfer, that's actually starting to gouge. And considering what's on that piston, this thing is unscathed. I don't know if you guys can tell. I know the light doesn't really help, but I mean, it's clean. I mean, like I said, there are some very faint, very faint striations. Ron Brooks says, good work, buddy. Have to go also. My friend, appreciate you. Appreciate the kind words. Hopefully we'll see you also in the next one. You guys know you guys are all welcomed anytime. Slightly a little bit darker markings, like slightly on the bottom here. This is on the intake side of things. I just heard something fall out. Okay. But okay, well, at least I have a peace of mind that everything looks good inside the cylinder sleeve, or inside the cylinder, and the sleeve looks okay going all the way up to the top by the squish band, everything, considering how this piston looks. But definitely, maybe this thing was on the verge of disaster. Maybe that's why it was acting up the way it was, and it just shut down. It wouldn't stay idled, because it was trying to protect itself or something, because there's absolutely no lubrication whatsoever. And this piston, I mean, I'm going to have to run it and see how it runs, but I just think that's just going to get worse, because it's already gouging. It's gouged up, so I'm sure that's affecting compression to some extent. And I'll show you guys now that it's out of the... Whoa, don't want to see that. You guys see that? Let me see if I can do low light. I wish I can zoom, but I cannot. Let me see if I can get you guys some better lighting at least. There we go. Maybe a little bit better focus. But as you can see, that's not just piston transfer. That's like full contact, no lubrication, gouging. And even, you know, some might think, oh, that ain't going to affect compression, but you'd be surprised, man. The littlest thing can affect compression. But see, no lubrication at all. So I'm surprised. But this is no good, because that's definitely hanging up the nail. And piston rings. So, and this right here, I mean, carbon deposit, doesn't look like any, I don't know if that would be pre-ignition or just carbon deposit or a little bit of both, but I mean, at least there's no cratering or nothing, which would definitely imply pre-ignition. But either way, I mean, this is, I mean, it's not pretty, but I mean, what can you do about that? Well, but this is the more, this is the more concerning part here. The other side, what is that? Is that a flake of metal? Hold on a second. Well, it's gone now. So yeah, I mean, it's clean, man. I mean, it's clean. It was already, like I said, it was already clean when it came in, but then we just really shined it up and really made it clean. So this is all just coming from, to my better knowledge, it's coming from very poor lubrication. In this case, at least, very, very poor. Because like I said, when Alonso brought his saw, Michael, appreciate you. So what I was saying, basically all I was saying is I need to talk to him about this piston, because I really don't remember this piston being like this when it came in just for the chain sharpening. And then I told him I was going to clean up his saw, because anything that comes in, even if it is just for chain sharpening or cleaning, I always look inside. I always just do a quick little inspection just to see what it looks like, to catch anything from like this or just anything really. But yeah, there's like no, this thing is dry, dude. That's kind of, I mean, I mean, that's going to be the biggest part right now is, I mean, the rewind starter for sure, that needs to get fixed. But this piston, we need to figure out what we're going to do. Because the fact that he was saying that he was having a hard time starting it and it wouldn't stay idle, there's a good chance that even just the slight gouging already is affecting compression. It could be as little as that. And the man is probably watching the live stream right now because he just texted me and he's probably like, bro, don't tell me. But so I need to text them and or at least call him and just tell him what I'm finding out, because yeah, this is it's not a very good find. I mean, it's not horrible, but the fact that the piston's really, I mean, everything is really dry, no lubrication. Something happened. I don't know if maybe he let someone else run it, which I don't really think so, because this is his baby. And I don't want you guys to pass any judgment being like, well, if it's his baby, he needs to know what he's doing. And but look, guys, Shisa happens. I mean, okay. So I think for now, I think that's where I'm going to conclude this inspection. I mean, there's a couple more things that I can check. Clutch, at least the bearings. But I think right now, well, let's just go ahead and get it done. Let's just figure this out here. So at least let me check out the clutch, because even just popping off the clutch, I can get an idea of what the bearings are like. As long as we ain't got no vertical play, that's all good. Because roller bearings, from my understanding, a little horizontal play is okay, especially roller style bearings. Even like brand new 201s, I mean, they have a good amount of horizontal play, but any vertical play, you don't want that. Arson is saying something. I'm not sure what though. Roller bearing looks fine. There's still a little bit of grease left, because I always like to grease these up. I was told that you don't have to, but I've always known that bearings need to be greased and lubricated and whatnot. So I always just lubricate them, because I think that's the proper thing to do. No, ma, no, por favor. So let me go ahead and change out my socket here. Oh, that's actually not a good idea. Hold on a second. That was about to be very, very not good. So I need to find a way to stop that piston. You know, see, things happen. Shit can happen. Just like that was like, no. Mistakes happen. So on that note, we're gonna just the piston. That's the main worry right now. And then the least of the worry right now is that rewind starter. So we'll see what happens. He popped in, was watching, and pictures and here. he knows all the clean mechanics or whatever we're providing this here service. It's so our customers and friends and pretty much the whole challenger educating ourselves. And so that sometimes mistakes happen. We might be a little, a little distracted, a little bit, you guys all stop. It was very detrimental just now, but you know, Alonzo, I mean, maybe something happened, maybe he was out there busy, cutting wood, and then he maybe said, hey man, like one of his friends, he said, hey bro, can you, mix up some fuel real quick? And his bro was like, yeah man, I got you. And maybe you never know. So, and either way, things happen sometimes. So the whole point is, to not make our customers feel like, make them feel bad, because that's not what we're here for. Same thing like at Ace Hardware, like that's where I used to work, the power equipment shop, and that wasn't the goal of us being there. It wasn't to be like, what, like you don't know, or ugh, like no, we're there to hopefully educate with good, information. And so anyhow, that's pretty much where we're gonna stop this inspection. No, sometimes the service is just really bad because I mean I'm basically in a small little microwave, metal microwave here, a little. So, but no, the shed door is open, and so for those wondering, yeah, that was my grandma. And sometimes she'll come out here and be like, "You should just stop working already. It's already late, and you need to." And it's like, I got to keep it going, man. Like and honestly, like I sound probably like an asshole, but it just drives me crazy when anybody does that to me, because it's like I want to roll and I got to keep it going, and at the same time, if I stop my work, well, who's going to get it done for me? Nobody. So I just got to keep it going until I'm like, okay, it's time to call it a day. So as far as inspections and more saw work, that's pretty much going to be a wrap for today here for me. We're going to hit up Alonzo right now and just tell him what we found, and see how he wants to proceed. Definitely needs to get this repaired, the rewind spring. So basically needs a starter job, and just figure out, the lubrication. Maybe, I don't know, something happened. So, and it was definitely flooded, like really flooded. So anyways, guys, much love to everybody. I appreciate everybody being here and everybody that hits the thumbs up. 20 likes, man, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, I'm happy when I get like 1 or 2, but it just seems like more and more of you are liking our live streams and hanging out, and I really appreciate you guys, and just thank you all for taking time out of your day to hang out with us and almost watch me destroy this piston. God. Whew. Came damn close. That was pretty wild. And if Alonzo was watching, he was probably like, that what? Like, anyways. So much love to everybody. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. Really apologize that our live is typically just that's really awesome. And just yeah, so I really appreciate you guys. Much love to everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Time, but tomorrow we're gonna check out the clean it up a little bit, and swap out the rims, on teenager, and maybe anyways,